Hi guys, welcome back to another Minimum Wager's Kitchen. I'm Gigi and today I'm going to be showing you how to make delicious homemade baked donuts and glaze. In fact, I'm going to show you how to make two glazes for the donuts today. I'll be showing you how to make chocolate cinnamon glaze, and I'm also going to be showing you how to just make regular traditional vanilla glaze for the donuts. Alright you guys, I'm excited. I can't wait. Let's go ahead and get started with the recipe, shall we? Yay! Alright you guys, let's go ahead and get started with our ingredients. Alright, so for the ingredients for the donut batter today, that's going to be 2 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 1/4 cups of granulated sugar, about 5 tablespoons or 1/3 of a cup of melted salted butter, and make sure that's melted all the way but not boiling hot when we go ahead and put this all together. Next is going to be 2½ teaspoons of just regular vanilla extract, 3/4 of a cup of just regular whole milk, 2 beaten eggs, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and for the last ingredient, that's going to be 1/4 teaspoon of just grated nutmeg. Alright guys, so for the first part for our batter, in a medium or a large bowl, go ahead and put your flour in here. We're going to go ahead and add our cinnamon, the nutmeg, and the baking powder. Now all I'm going to do is just whisk this all together. And make sure you whisk this really well and incorporate everything in here. That's what it should look like. A little bit kind of like beige-ish from the cinnamon there. Now I'm going to go ahead and put the dry ingredients aside and start on our wet ingredients. I'll be right back. Alright, so for our wet ingredients, I'll go ahead and start with our sugar. So let's go ahead and dump that right in. And our milk. Our eggs. The vanilla extract. And now before I add the butter, I just give this a quick stir, really to incorporate that sugar and egg together. Do this for a good 30 seconds and you're good to go. Alright, and now I'm going to go ahead and add that melted salted butter. Alright, now that our mix is done here for our wet ingredients, I'm going to go ahead and grab the dry ingredients and incorporate those all together. Well, that wasn't hard at all, was it? Now that I have our dry ingredients ready and our wet ingredients ready, I'm going to go ahead and just pour this right in our wet ingredients and start stirring. Or I guess that would be whisking. So the big thing is to don't overmix. I wouldn't mix this for more than like a minute, maybe a minute and like 30 seconds. Alright guys, not even 45 seconds, and there we go. So now that we have our donut batter, I'm going to go ahead and put this into piping bags so we can go ahead and pipe these onto our donut molds. I'll be right back in just a few moments. See you in a second. Alright guys, now that our donut batter is completely done, I've gone ahead and sprayed these down with a little bit of just like baking spray here, so that way they don't stick. These are non-stick pans, but it's nice to have because it's just easier. So today we're going to go ahead and do a solid dozen, because why not? That's usually how a pack comes, so I figured why not use 2 of these guys and make a dozen donuts. So let's go ahead and get started. So for today, we're going to go ahead and pipe the donut batter onto the donut molds. So I have 2 methods for you because not everybody has piping bags. So traditional method with the piping bag and a pipe glass, and also 2, a freezer bag or just a regular sandwich bag. Alright, so let me go ahead and show you how to get these all in here and piped onto our donut mold. First, I'm going to go ahead and start putting half the batter into our piping bag. That already smells really good. Alright, so our piping bag is done. Next, it's just going to be a quart bag here. And I guess best way to do this would be a wider container like a mug. And make sure too that you pull down the top part here. That way, it's just a little bit easier. Alright, here we go. And there you go. That way, you don't have a mess all over the top. So for the sandwich bag, I'm going to go ahead and get as much air out as I can. And there we go. And by the way, this is great too, so if you have leftover, you can throw this right in the freezer and you can use it later. And guys, if you are going to freeze this, I do recommend using it within 2 weeks. That way, you get that fresh, yummy taste still. Alright, so I've gone ahead and preheated the oven at 350 already. So let's go ahead and get started on filling our donut molds. So for today, I'm going to go ahead and start with our piping bag here. As you can see, I went ahead and cut the tip off. So what we want to do is cover our mold 3/4 of the way full. That way there's enough room to rise and it won't puff over. Alright, so let me go ahead and show you how this is done. So what I like to do is just give it a good squeeze and just start filling that area quickly. Just like that. Alright, so again, 3/4 of the way. And the trick is to really just pipe that on there and really just cover that whole interior section. Ooh. I'm going to do one more and then show you guys. Alright, so that's what it should look like. Alright guys, so next is going to be that sandwich bag. And what I like to do is just make sure to get that as clear as possible for the tip. And there we go. Alright, so next step, go ahead and give the top a twist until you start getting some of that batter. And now we'll go ahead and fill these up. So I'm going to go ahead and fill 2 of these a little bit over to see what happens. Also too, because if they do overfill and it covers the top completely, we're going to go ahead and fill those with some really yummy glaze. Alright, I'm so excited! Alright, so these are the just regular ones that are 3/4 of the way full, and then we also have this tray with 1, 2, and 3 that are overfilled. And I did different amounts just to see what happens. But what I am trying to do with this one especially is see if it'll cover the top of it, so we have almost like a cup and we can fill that up with glaze. Yum! Alright you guys, let's go ahead and pop these in the oven, shall we? Alright, so that oven is at 350 right now, and I'm going to go ahead and bake these for about 13 to 15 minutes. I'll be back in just a few moments and I will show you how those look like when they are baked off. So exciting! See you in a moment. Alright you guys, it's time! Let's get these donuts out of the oven. Now, I went ahead and left these in for a good 15 minutes, and let's go ahead and see what's going on. That smells so good. Put that there here. Woo! Oh my goodness. The overfilled ones are definitely overfilled. Alright, let me go ahead and turn this off. And again, that was at 350 for about 15 minutes. And I can tell you right away, the ones we overfilled, which is these two here and then that one. This one apparently I overfilled as well. So we have some good examples here. Oh my gosh, I'm wondering if this one's baked all the way through. We'll find out. But success on these. These look great. And what you really want is a little bit of a, see if I can not burn myself here, a little bit of a golden edge around that donut that we can kind of see. There you go. And guys, don't pick these up, they're really hot. Alright you guys, so the next step is going to be letting these guys cool down for 5 minutes in the actual donut molds. After that, I'm going to go ahead and take these out and cool them off on a cooling rack for a good 15 minutes. And in the meantime, we can start on our glaze. See you in just a moment. Alright, so our vanilla glaze, super easy to make. 3 ingredients. So for today, we're going to go ahead and use 1 cup of just regular powdered sugar, 3/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and for the last ingredient, that's going to be about 3 to 4 tablespoons of just regular whole milk. Alright, super easy. So dump in your vanilla extract and your milk, and with a spatula, now we mix. And as you mix, you'll notice your lumps will start going away, and you'll start getting a nice glaze. Alright, donut glaze is done. So that's what it should look like consistency-wise. Oh, you can see. And this will start setting here in just a little bit. So what I like to do, if I'm not going to use this right away, it will start setting. You can put it in the microwave for a couple seconds and give it a stir before you go ahead and dip your donuts. But in the meantime, we can actually go ahead and set this aside and start on our chocolate cinnamon glaze. Alright guys, so for chocolate cinnamon glaze, this one is also very easy. Pretty much the same ingredients, except we're going to add a couple more to make this even more flavorful. So for the first ingredient, that's going to be 1 cup of powdered sugar, half cup of just baking cocoa powder, and that's unsweetened, a half teaspoon of vanilla extract, 3 to 5 tablespoons of regular whole milk, and for the last ingredient, that's going to be a half teaspoon of just regular cinnamon. Alright you guys, so let's go ahead and get this glaze together. So let's go ahead and dump our chocolate powdered, our cinnamon, our vanilla extract, and last but not least, the milk. And now we mix. This one will take a little bit longer than the vanilla glaze, and that's because of that cocoa powder in here. Keep mixing, they're all good. Alright guys, so now the chocolate glaze is done, and that's chocolate cinnamon glaze, so I'll show you the texture here. There you go. Pretty much the same thing as the, give this a quick stir, vanilla glaze. Alright you guys, now that that's done, let's go ahead and glaze some donuts. Yay! So now that our donuts have cooled here and they're all on the plate here, ready to be dipped, I'm going to go ahead and move this back. And what I have gone ahead and done is grabbed a cookie sheet and just put a cooling rack on top. That way, as I am glazing our donuts, I can just go ahead and put them here and they can drip there and not make a huge mess. Alright guys, so excited. Let's get started on glazing. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get started with our vanilla glaze here. And I'm going to go ahead and pick 4 of these guys to go ahead and dip into the vanilla glaze. So, super simple. All you have to do is make sure you use the bottom portion of your donut. And what you're going to do is go ahead and cover that whole side. Kind of gives you a line here to work with. So I'm going to go ahead and dip this, spin, twirl, and voila! And that's what I mean by catching all the drips. So let's go ahead and do another one here. So we're going to go ahead and put the darker portion in, make sure it's up to the line with the glaze. So you're going to dip that in, spin, 1, 2, pick that up, let the excess drip off, and there you go. Alright guys, let's do the last 2 here. So dip that in, and put up. Whoop, whoop. Got a little extra on there. Whoa. Alright, and now let it rest. And for the last one, all right. So those vanilla donuts are going to go ahead and rest there for a good 20 minutes or so. And somehow I still managed to get glaze all over the counter. So let's go ahead and get started on our chocolate glaze. So before we do our chocolate glaze, I'm going to move these back just a little bit here and grab some sprinkles, because why not? Alright, this is one of my favorite parts about making donuts, is decorating them. So let's go ahead and put some stars on this one. Oh, that's cute. Very magical. Alright, push that over. Oh, and now I have a star on my nail. Cute. Alright, and then I also picked up a couple of pearls. So I got some pastel-y, purpley pink ones. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this one and just pat it down slightly into the bowl. Oh, that's cute. I like that. Also very magical. And let's just do some traditional color ones. There's usually all of the rainbow colors. I'm going to go ahead and just dip that right in. And oh my gosh, how cute! That is adorable. I like that. Very fancy. Alright, so this one we'll go ahead and keep plain. That way we have that example just with the glaze. Well, I had fun making those. Let's make more. Oh, and before we go ahead and dip these donuts in chocolate cinnamon glaze, don't forget to hit like, don't forget to hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you know when the next video's up. Yay! All right, back to the recipe. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a spin here. All right, so I went ahead and picked 4 of the donuts to go ahead and glaze with our chocolate glaze. By the way, if you have extra glaze remaining, you can also freeze this too. All right, so for a chocolate glaze, there you go. And take a look at that. Oh, chocolate cinnamon smells so good. Including too, because the top of these get golden, but also too, it gets that donutty texture. Alright guys, so just like the vanilla glazed ones, we're gonna go ahead and pick these up, and let's go ahead and do the darker side down. That way we're dipping that up to the line right here. And that's the bake line. So we'll go ahead and give this a quick twist. And do remember that the chocolate glaze is going to be a little bit thicker. So just give it a few more moments. And there you go. Look at that. Yum! Let's do another one. Alright, so same thing, go ahead and put the dark side down, and we're going to go ahead and dip right up to the line. And give this a quick twist. And look at that. Yum. That looks so scrumptious. I really want to eat these right now, but I'm not going to. Alright guys, let's do one last one for the chocolate dip, and then I'll finish the rest, and we'll go ahead and decorate these as well. So we'll give this a twist. Up to the bake line. Oop. Oh. And voila. Alright, you guys, these chocolate donuts look so good. I cannot wait. So let's go ahead and decorate a couple of these. What I've done is I just went and incorporated those little stars into the pastel pearls here. Get a little something different. Let's start traditional. Why not? In fact, let's just go ahead and dip half the donut. That should look pretty cute. I'm gonna do something fun here. Ooh, I like that. Very modern. There you go. All right, let me move this just slightly over. And for our next one, let's do those little cute stars and then the pastel pearls. And I think I'm going to try to do kind of the same thing as that one too, like the first one. Oh, that looks awesome. I like it. Oh, that's cute. That's really cute. I don't know, there's something about it. I'm just going to sprinkle a couple of them on top, just to kind of finish the look. Oh yeah, that's adorable. Oh. Super cute. Oh my gosh. Don't mind the chocolate icing on my hands. But that's adorable. And for the last one, go ahead and grab this guy. I'm going to put some right in the center. And oh, I think this one's my favorite, you guys. Look at that. And I don't think the camera can pick it up, but these are iridescent sprinkles. Kind of blue little iridescent sprinkles. That came out super cute. My gosh. Alright, you guys, so these apparently have turned out as whimsical donuts. These are super cute. I cannot wait to taste them. So we still have 4 donuts that I purposely went ahead and just overfilled. So let's go ahead and fill those with glaze and all sorts of stuff. Alright, I'll see you in just a moment. Alright guys, so I've got the ones that I purposely overfilled, and holy moly, I really didn't think these were going to bake through, but with that hole in the bottom, with the donut mold, they definitely did. And the nice thing is that this one is pretty much fully sealed at the bottom. So I'm curious to know, and including this one, and I really want to fill it up with that chocolate glaze and do something different with these. So these I didn't fill as much as these, but they still covered up. So what I definitely will suggest is filling these up with Nutella and then putting some fresh strawberries on top. That's super good as well. Let's go ahead and use what we do have in our kitchen today making these donuts, and let's go ahead and glaze these and fill them with a little bit of chocolate. So first thing, I'm going to go ahead and dip this right in the chocolate and that cinnamon chocolate. Wow, that is going to be something else. And now fill the top. I definitely suggest letting these guys that are filled with glaze sit for a good 45 minutes so everything sets well. Alright, so let's go ahead and do the next one. And we'll do the same thing, spinny spins. Fill this with a little bit of that glaze. And we'll see what happens there. Alright, so next, since we still have some decor, again, you can put like fresh fruit on here if you want. You can do all sorts of stuff. But because I wanted to go ahead and use these sprinkles up, I'm just going to go ahead and make this super cute and magical. And put some stars and pearls all over. Oh, that looks adorable. Oh yeah. And I had a little bit left over of the very cute iridescent sprinkles with the stars as well, so figured why not. Oh, that's cute. There we go. Give that a little pat. Add a little extra more here in the center with the stars. Super cute. Oh my gosh. That is super adorable. And then we also have this one. Very mermaidy. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and give this vanilla glaze a quick stir because it was really starting to set. But if you give it a stir, you're good to go. So let's go ahead and dip these in the vanilla glaze for the last 2. And we're going to fill these up with that chocolate glaze, because why not? Alright, so those are glazed, and maybe I should stop dipping my hand in the glazed donut. Now, with the remainder of our chocolate glaze, don't grab too much, just enough where you can kind of ruin that in there. Oh, that's gonna be so good. By the way, some of that vanilla glaze dripped in there, so that is going to be something else delicious. Yum. And why not do maybe a couple drips here? Because why not? See if we can get some tiger stripes on here. Cute. Yay, tiger stripes. Alright, well, got super creative, had lots of fun, and let me show you what we did. So we have the over baked wood that had the hole in the center. So went ahead and glazed that with the chocolate glaze, filled it, and put some of the cute, very, very cute, whimsical, and I guess very starry sprinkles on there. Then we have this guy here, which is also the one that we overfilled and filled with the chocolate glaze and the remaining of those fun iridescent sprinkles. These are already setting too. Then just a regular glazed one. This one was slightly overfilled. The bottom, there's a little drip, but it's already setting, so filled it with that chocolate glaze. That came out super cute. And for the last one, I just did some tiger stripes. So went ahead and glazed it with that regular vanilla glaze, filled it with that chocolate cinnamon glaze, and then just went ahead with a spoon on top and did a couple tiger stripes. That one came out super cute. Alright you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and let these rest for a good half hour because these are big chonkers and they definitely are filled with a lot of glaze. I want to make sure that these set well, including these two as well since they have quite a bit of the chocolate glaze in the center. I will see you guys in about half an hour, plated and everything and ready to try these out. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. Alright you guys, I can't wait. See you in just a moment. Alright you guys, donuts are ready. So these are all set to go. That glaze is all set. And I have to say these still need about maybe 10 more minutes, but you know what? We're gonna go ahead and cut into it anyways. So for the vanilla glazed, oh my gosh, these turned out super cute. And chocolate is actually almost set, but you know. I feel like I need like maybe 5 more minutes. Alright, so I'll show you the plain vanilla glazed one here. That's all set. And then all the fun decorated ones for today. So cute. And the little star power one here, or very whimsical glazed donut. And my favorite out of this bunch today for the vanilla glaze, that would be the tiger stripe with the chocolate cinnamon glaze as well. Alright you guys, so for the chocolate glazed ones today, these donuts were overfilled for the batter part as well as for the actual glaze itself. So these are filled with chocolate glaze now. Oh, so awesome. And they did not drip on the bottom, as you can see. But yeah, they turned out so cute. Look at this. Oh! So magical. Now, I really do wish that the camera would pick up the iridescence on this one. And if it does, awesome, but I can't really tell. But yeah, these are iridescent. Oh my gosh, super cute. Very mermaidy. And we also have the regular chocolate cinnamon glazed one right here. And we also have that chocolate glazed one right here as well. Chocolate cinnamon glaze, that is. And I think this has got to be my favorite one out of the bunch. Very, very whimsical, very space. I don't know, I'm thinking unicorns. What do you think? Alright, you guys, so that's what we started out with. So yeah. Not bad, not bad. And now let's go ahead and taste this delicious vanilla glazed donut. And you know me, let's go ahead and break this open. Ooh, very cakey, yum. Look at that. That smells so good. Yeah, you guys, look at that. Donut, donut. Just like a cake donut. And there you go. So that we can take a look at the whole thing. Like right in half. And now we taste. Oh, I'm so excited. Alright guys, let's give this a taste. Mmm. That's really good. Nice thing about this, it's really moist on the inside. It has that crispiness on the outside. Yum. And unlike a fried donut, it's not a fried donut, it's a baked donut, but you still get that cake consistency, which is really nice. And I'm thinking more like cake donut style here. The other thing too, guys, that bottom of the donut, that came out nice and crispy, so when you're biting into this and kind of break this open, you definitely get that texture on the top. And I definitely put extra butter in my recipe, so that makes a huge difference on the texture and the flavor as well. Alright, I have to put that down because I have another donut to go here, so let's go ahead and grab the chocolate cinnamon glazed donut now. And since you've seen the inside of that one, whoops, go ahead and break this one open for you as well. I have not gotten this much glaze on me in quite a while, but very well worth it. Alright, so for the chocolate cinnamon glazed donut, I'll show you here. Oh, look at that. So tasty. And that inside, I mean, I can't wait to bite into it. But you can see like the goldenness, that's going to be a little bit nicer and crispier like a regular donut. And then of course you have that very nice cakey interior. And well, I'm not going to wait any longer, so here we go. Let's go ahead and give this a taste. Delicious. That glaze with that cinnamon in there, because that batter has a little bit of the cinnamon and nutmeg, really complements this one. Oh my gosh, I really like that. Very tasty. And I'm gonna have to have the rest of this because, oh my gosh, this is super good. Oh my gosh, you guys, that cinnamon chocolate glaze, that is so good. You gotta try out the recipe for that for sure. Alright, well now that we've destroyed 2 donuts, I'm very curious to know what this tastes like with the half-glazed vanilla donut and the chocolate cinnamon filled portion in the center. So, let me go grab a plate and I will be right back. We're gonna cut this right in the middle and oh my gosh, I am so excited to taste this. Yay! Alright you guys, let's go ahead and cut into this half vanilla glazed and filled with chocolate cinnamon glazed donut. Alright you guys, let's go ahead and cut into this. And that looks so darn cute, oh my gosh. Wow, that turned out amazing. Well, gotta say, not disappointed whatsoever. That is gonna be delicious. In fact, let's get the part that has more chocolate glaze. A little bit of that chocolate, cinnamon, and a little bit of that vanilla. Oh my gosh, so excited. That was a fun experiment, so let's see what this tastes like now. And actually, let me go ahead and show you the inside here. That actually baked off quite alright, even though it was stuffed. So yes, now let's go ahead and give this a taste. Alright you guys, let's do this. Mmm. Mmm. That is amazing. Oh my gosh. Mm. Now with these, the texture still came out fine. I'm really surprised and impressed. I can't pass this up. I'm gonna have to have another bite. These are super tasty. Mmm. That cinnamon and that chocolate just goes so well. And two, don't forget that we dip these in a little bit of vanilla glaze too. So when you're biting onto the outside, it's like double flavor. Well, by far, I have to say that I really like the overfilled one. So basically, it would be this one right here with that vanilla glaze on the outside and that chocolate cinnamon glaze on the inside. Wow, super tasty, super different. It was something nice to have, different kind of a donut shape, I guess. And they're so fun looking, But my favorite one that was decorated was our little whimsical starwood. Really reminds me of I don't know, it's got unicorn vibes, for sure. Well, you guys, I had a fabulous time making all these great, yummy baked donuts with you today, and the glazes too, and the decorations, and I hope you enjoyed it too. And if you do, make sure you click that like button. And in the meantime, I will see you in the next Minimum Wagers Kitchen. See you next Saturday. Bye. Bye. I mean, who doesn't like a donut, right? Right?